Have you ever wondered where the beautiful game of soccer originated from? Well, the roots of soccer, or football as it's known outside of North America, are buried deep in the sands of time, with evidence of football-like games being played as far back as 2,000 years in ancient civilizations. In the Far East, in China to be precise, a game known as Cuju was popular during the Han Dynasty. The aim of Cuju, which literally translates to kickball, was to keep a leather ball filled with feathers and hair in the air, using any part of the body except the hands. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? This game was not only a popular pastime, but was also used to keep military men fit and ready. Meanwhile, in ancient Greece, a game called Episkiros was played. In Episkiros, two teams of equal number would try to throw a ball over the heads of the opposing team. The player would run forward, hoping to catch the ball. If he was successful, it meant a great victory. If he failed, he was subjected to a lot of jeers and ridicule. The Romans later adopted this game, and it evolved to become Harpastum. Fast forward to medieval Europe, where a form of soccer known as mob football began to take shape. The game was rough. There were no rules, and villages would compete against each other in matches that could last for days. It was a far cry from the organized sport we know today, but it was a start. In the 16th century in England, soccer-like games began to be played in schools, but it was not until the 19th century that rules began to be codified, giving birth to the game of soccer as we know it today. So, the next time you kick a ball, remember, you're participating in a tradition that dates back thousands of years. But when did soccer become the game we know and love today? Well, let's traverse back in time to the middle of the 19th century, to a place where it all officially began, England. The year was 1863, a significant year in the annals of soccer. This was when the Football Association, the first governing body of the sport, was established. The formation of the Football Association marked a pivotal moment in the evolution of soccer. You see, before its inception, soccer was largely a disorganized sport with varying rules depending on where it was played. Imagine a game where the rules change every time you cross a town line. Chaos, right? Precisely so, and it was this chaos that the Football Association sought to quell. The association took up the mantle to standardize the rules of the game. It was a task of Herculean proportions, no doubt, but one that was absolutely necessary to bring order to the beloved sport. The association drew up a set of rules, a blueprint, if you will, that would form the foundation of modern soccer. These rules, known as the laws of the game, addressed everything from the dimensions of the field and the ball to the number of players on each team and the methods of scoring. It was a comprehensive guide that transformed soccer from a mere pastime to a structured sport. However, it wasn't a smooth sailing journey. The initial rules proposed by the Football Association faced stiff opposition, particularly from clubs that favored a more physical style of play. But after much debate and deliberation, a consensus was reached and the standardized rules were accepted. With the codification of the rules, soccer shed its chaotic past and stepped into a new era, an era marked by uniformity and order, where skill and strategy took precedence over brute force. And thus, modern soccer was born, ready to capture the hearts of millions. But when did soccer transcend national borders and become a global phenomenon? This journey began with the first international match in 1872. The two nations that kicked off this revolution were none other than Scotland and England. The match, held at Hamilton Crescent, Scotland, was an exciting affair that ended in a draw, with neither team able to break the deadlock. But it wasn't about who won or lost. It was about the birth of an international rivalry, the kind that would soon span the globe. Now fast forward to 1904, a significant year indeed, as this was when the International Federation of Association Football, or FIFA as it's more commonly known, was established. This organization, headquartered in Zurich, Switzerland, would go on to become the governing body for soccer worldwide. With a mission to promote the game, provide a regulatory framework, and foster cooperation among the international football community, FIFA was instrumental in making soccer the world's game. However, it wasn't until 1930 that the inaugural FIFA World Cup took place. Hosted by Uruguay, who were celebrating their centenary of independence, the tournament showcased the best teams from around the globe. Despite the low participation, Mainly due to the difficulties of transatlantic travel, the tournament was a resounding success, marking a new chapter in the history of international soccer. The host nation, Uruguay, emerged victorious, but the real winner was the beautiful game itself. From its humble beginnings in the British Isles, soccer had transformed into a global spectacle, uniting people from different cultures, backgrounds, and walks of life. It was more than just 22 players chasing a ball. It was a testament to the human spirit, the desire to compete, to strive for excellence, and to celebrate the joy of the game. Soccer was no longer just a game, it was a global event. But how did soccer clubs as we know them today come into existence? The first soccer clubs began to form in the late 19th century, primarily in England. These were often community-based, with teams made up of local workers who played for the love of the game rather than monetary gain. One such example is Sheffield FC, established in 1857, recognized by the FA and FIFA as the world's oldest club playing association football. As the sport grew in popularity, so did the need for a structured competition. Thus, the first leagues were born. The English Football League, the oldest such competition, kicked off in 1888 with 12 founding members. These leagues provided a regular schedule of matches and a clear path to crowning a champion. The early 20th century saw the rise of the professional footballer. As the sport became more commercialized, the idea of paying players for their skills began to take hold. In the beginning, wages were modest, but as the sport's popularity exploded, so did the earning potential for its top stars. This era also saw the advent of transfers, with clubs paying fees to secure the services of players. The commercialization of the sport continued apace in the latter half of the 20th century. Clubs began to realize the value of their brands and sought to monetize them. Merchandising, television rights, and sponsorship deals became significant revenue streams, transforming soccer clubs into multi-million and eventually billion-dollar businesses. Today, the top clubs are global brands with fans around the world. They're more than just sports teams, they're entertainment juggernauts, content producers, and cultural icons. They operate state-of-the-art stadiums, develop youth academies, and employ vast armies of staff off the pitch to keep the machine running smoothly. From the community teams of the late 19th century to the mega brands of the 21st, the journey of soccer clubs mirrors the evolution of the sport itself. From humble beginnings, soccer clubs have grown into billion-dollar enterprises. So what does the future hold for the beautiful game? As we peer into the crystal ball of soccer's future, we see a world captivated by the sport more than ever before. Soccer's popularity continues to surge, permeating every corner of the globe. From the icy tundras of Siberia to the sun-baked plains of Africa, people of all ages and backgrounds are united by their shared love for this game. It's a sport that transcends borders, cultures, and languages, binding us together in a universal language of passion and excitement. Yet the future of soccer isn't just about its growing fan base, it's also about the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead. One of the most significant factors shaping the future of the sport is technology. The introduction of Video Assistant Referee, or VAR, has already started to revolutionize the game, promising to make it fairer and more transparent. But as with any change, it's not without its controversies and challenges. Balancing the use of technology with the human element of the game will be a pivotal task for the custodians of soccer. Further, the digital age presents new avenues for fan engagement. The rise of esports and virtual reality could potentially transform the way fans consume soccer. Imagine experiencing the thrill of a World Cup final from the comfort of your living room, feeling as though you're right there on the pitch with your favorite players. The possibilities are as exciting as they are endless. However, it's not all smooth sailing. The sport must also confront and address issues such as corruption, inequality, and the environmental impact of global tournaments. The decisions made in these areas will not only shape the future of soccer, but also its legacy. As we gaze into the horizon, we see a future that's as unpredictable as the game itself. But one thing remains constant: our love for soccer. It's a love that's been passed down through generations, from the muddy fields of medieval England to the state-of-the-art stadiums of today. Whatever the future holds, one thing is certain: the world will always love soccer.